And so now, with all that being said, I would like to say that I am on my second to last. I'm on my second to last point. Um, I'm going to talk about the city now, and this is I really have really minor things to say about the city and NBA 2K because the city is something that I enjoy. I thoroughly enjoy. The introduction of it in NBA 2K21. With the affiliations and the different, and the whole idea of the neighborhood changing into this real city now. And especially in NBA 2K22, it's a more luxurious, even real life city like lifestyle thing going on now. So I do really like that. Love the city in 2K, by the way. So what I would like to see being done with that now, for example, is just minor updates. What I would like to see being done with the city, I would like to see them bring the arcade back into the city this year for NBA 2K22. It's something that if you remember in 2K21, current gen in the neighborhood, they had the arcade where you could go inside the arcade and you spin the wheel and you could claim your daily prize. I miss that. I miss being able to claim my daily prize in the arcade. I just like the idea of even having an arcade. That was the coolest aspect of 2K21 current gen to me. So that was really cool to me. And I like the idea of going into the arcade and claiming my daily reward. Instead of just going up to the affiliation statues like they do in the city in 2K21 Next Gen, where you claim your daily reward. I really do think the arcade was a cool spot for that. And of course, where video games are going now, where 2K especially is going now, I think NBA 2K22 should incorporate an arcade, and maybe you might be able to go in and play the arcade games now. There should be an arcade in NBA 2K22 is basically what I'm saying. Also, one thing about the city, also, I would like them to bring back MyCourt. And of course, from what I've seen from courtside, the news reports and the gameplay trailer and all that, and the city trailer, they have brought back, the MyCourt, but even in a more luxurious way. There's got to be, these luxurious, these luxury apartments and these really big, mansions and all that. So I am very proud of that 2K. So big ups to 2K for bringing back or bringing back MyCourt, and then it seems like it's going to be even bigger than than the MyCourt thing. They're going to be apartment style apartments. So I do really like that aspect of it. So yes, I do think they should bring back MyCourt. Absolutely bring back MyCourt. I was totally bummed when I didn't see MyCourt in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. And although again, I understand the focus was on getting the city ready and then getting the 2K Next Gen video game ready for what it was. But again, MyCourt is a tradition. It's even a part again in terms of the MyCourt. And 2K probably knows it, which is why they're putting the emphasis on it in 2K22. They know that MyCourt and the whole lifestyle of their NBA baller is important. So how could you even have a My Player and not have MyCourt? But again, it worked. Again, I love the city concept. But yes, I would like to see the arcade and also MyCourt. Another thing about the city, I did again. With that being said, I really did enjoy. I mean, it's wholeheartedly. I really enjoyed the city on NBA 2K21 Next Gen. I enjoyed the affiliations, and even in terms of that, now I think it would be a good idea to change the affiliations. You can change the names of them even, or change the themes of the course. And not that there's anything wrong with the Western Wildcats or the North Side Knights or the South City Vipers or the Beasts of the East, of course. I love all the names of them and all that. But it would be a cool thing to even name them, change the affiliations. Don't call them affiliations, but call them squads, because that fits into a 2K that fits into a 2K tradition as well. Of course, when you get ready to squad up, squads are a big deal in 2K. So I think it would be a cool thing to be able to call them those instead of affiliations. And that's just a suggestion. Of course, if 2K keeps affiliations, which of course makes it, more, city-like and city hall-ish. They want to say you're affiliated with this, with this affiliation, with this team. But again, just a suggestion. It would be cool to call them squads as well, I thought. And also, just suggestion. Also, there's nothing wrong with the colors either. But I think for 2K22, just to switch it up, and because it is a new city, I would like the city to look different. So, for example, maybe the Western Wildcats court is no longer baby blue and white. It could be like the color root beer. It could be brown and yellow or something. It could be yellow. The North Side Knights court could be pink. The Beast of the East court now could be black and white or something. Could be black, some type of black and red thing going on. Of course, it was black and red. It was red last year, but yeah, it could be black and white. It could be all white or something. Some type of cool color scheme, black and white, like the PlayStation 5. And of course, last but not least, the South City Vipers Court, which was one of my favorites last year because I loved all that green, that resourceful green. So they could change that to even an orange. So to me, just change, just play with it. Would be cool to play with the course and just again, I haven't even opened up my 2K22 next year, my NBA 2K22 75th anniversary edition video game yet with KD and Kareem and Dirk on the cover of it. So I'm eager to see what the city looks like and to play it for myself. I've even kept spoilers. I have not looked at anybody's My Career videos yet. I have not looked at anything yet because I want to play for myself and see it for myself. And then of course I'm going to go online and interact with the other gamers of the gaming community. Another thing that I would say about the city now, and this goes back, and it even goes into the My Career experience now. Going back to what I was saying about cutscenes and incorporating cutscenes. One big improvement I think could be made is cutscenes in the city. I think it would be cool to be able to go inside one of the food shops, for example, one of those in the other shops too that they have in the city. The comic book store that they have in the city, that Mexican grill, for example. It would be a cool thing to be able to go inside one of those shops and even, for example, have lunch with the teammate. For example, if I have my player and I put him, let's say he's on the Milwaukee Bucks, he got drafted by the Bucks, he plays for the Bucks. It would be cool to be able to walk into the Mexican grill and have lunch with Giannis, or be greeted by Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, and have a cutscene where the basketball players are talking about their lives and in the games they have coming up and all that. And to me, that would even, of course, it would enhance the realism of NBA 2K, which, to 2K's credit now, NBA 2K is really, and Visual Concepts is really good at working together and collaborating and making this a realistic experience. So I think, especially where 2K is now with the graphics and with that being said, that would be a cool thing to be able to do. And it's also fingers crossed on that. I am hoping that on NBA 2K22, you can go inside of some of these shops now and sit down and eat or sit down and even chit chat. Again, in terms of that too, NBA 2K22 even said this year it's going to be more interactive. It's going to be more realistic, where the city is going to feel like a city life. I feel like it would be cool to even be able to just like you can already do this in NBA 2K21 next gen in the city. You can do these dances. You can dance. You can stand there and play with the ball. You can do all type of city things now. So I think, given that, it would be cool now to even be able to greet one of the other My players. You know what I mean? If you're standing next to a person, I think it would be a cool idea to be able, where it says, I think it would be a cool idea if it said, press X to talk. And it says, and of course just hi or something, see if the other My player responds back. So I think that would be a cool thing too, because you're literally interacting with all the other different My players. So I think that would be a cool thing, to be able to walk up to the player and, even shake their hand or something, or greet them or something. I mean, maybe of course that's a little too chummy, but for example, it's just an idea, because we do exist, we are a part of this gaming community together, and we are even, 2K, the 2K community is fierce. The 2K community is something that's broad and long and wide, so wide, and so it's something that would be especially enhance the experience for me, because sometimes I just like even playing around in 2K in the city, and of course playing around with the fashion aspects and just standing around the city sometimes and just looking at all different gear that everybody has on. Sometimes I just want to interact with all the different My players, and even in the gaming sense, like, wow, let's ride our skateboards together down the this Mexican grill and get some nachos or something, and get something to eat. So I think that would be, and so that's a cool thing that's happening in the city and in NBA 2K. And also too, one last thing I think it would be cool too. Now, of course, we have the Gatorade training facility. What I think would be a cool thing to be able to do is would be able to, even if there's a cutscene sometimes where your player, wakes up in that luxury apartment, there's a cutscene where he wakes up and he gets up and he goes to work out on his own, and there's a cutscene that shows him working out. Instead of you yourself controlling, of course, you can still, after that cutscene, you may choose to go back into the Gatorade facility and work out, or go to practice, return to, the NBA career and work out. But what I'm saying is I would like to be able to have a cutscene, some cutscenes too, where, even if it's not inside the Gatorade facility, all that open space, you see all that open space in the city area on NBA 2K. I think it would be cool if they did a cutscene where he, he even got up, and some mornings he did kind of, go for a run or something, or he grabbed a bike and went for a bike ride, around South City Viper's Court or something, you know, where he even rode a skateboard himself, you know, to get breakfast or something like that. So I think that would be a really cool thing. And for example, would be some of the other shops, as I was saying, it would be cool to be able to go into the comic book store, that comics and game store that they have in the city, and take that back to the luxury apartment, and have them sit there and read the book as a cutscene. So I think that would be a really cool thing. And it's a really basketball thing-ish thing to do, you know, so I think that would be a really cool thing to have your My Player experience. And now we're talking more about other stuff. You know, last but not least, certainly not least, my last thing that I would love to see in NBA 2K22 and other coming editions of 2K also are upgraded builds. One of the things that of course, you know, 2K is known for their builds, especially in the My Player experience. You know, when you build your My Player, has become, you know, one of the best aspects of the game, and you know, especially for real basketball fans and real gaming fans, it is cool to be able to create this basketball player and have it even be realistic, and you have complete control over what type of player he is. And with that said, there are already cool builds, and there are a number of different builds even. You have the glass cleaner, you know, you have a glass cleaning finisher, you have a finisher, you have a paint beast, you have the scoring machine, the offensive threat, 3-point playmaker, you know, you have a playmaker even. And my personal favorite, by the way, just as a side note, one of my favorite builds is the slash and shot creator, which is what I created last year, just because it's in 2K21 Next Gen, just because it was different also. You know, everyone loves the scoring machine build, by the way, you know, because, you know, you get all the dribbling packages, a lot of that type of stuff. For example, you do get a lot of that when you make a creative scoring machine, you know. So I just wanted to make something different. You know, you can also do a point forward also on NBA 2K, so that's a cool thing. But for example, what I mean by upgraded and different type of builds, it's, you know, even something that makes it more pro ballish like, and even in terms of, you know, NBA talk. Like, for example, the builds is something that 2K even came up with. But for example, I would like builds that, you know, other builds that just kind of make sense in a real basketball sense. Like, for example, I would like to have a ball handler build, a floor general build, a defender build, you know, a shot blocker build, you know, like you know, instead of like a paint beast, like call him a shot blocker. You know, what is he a paint beast about? You know, is he a beast at the rim? Is he a rim protector? Is he a, you know, is he a rebounder? Is he a, you know, that type of thing? You know, you could play, you know, they could even play with that paint beast, those type of the big builds too in 2K in terms of that type of stuff. You can give the bigs a secondary build, you know, like maybe even put an asterisk, you know, if he is a paint beast, put an asterisk on what he's good at in paint. Is he a post player? You know, is he good at backing down his opponents? Is he an intimidator? You know, and of course, in terms of the badges that you use on 2K also, you know, you can start incorporating that. So I think it would be a really good idea to incorporate that in NBA 2K. And again, in terms of builds too, and I think there is, don't get me wrong, if I'm not mistaken, there is a ball handler build, like a primary ball handler type build. But again, it's not the same thing as having like a floor general build. You know, I really want me in Isaiah Thomas, you know, Jason Kidd type of, you know, floor general, you know, Oscar Robinson, you know, floor general type of build. You know, and in terms of the ball handling now, I want to be able to have like a Kyrie Irving level ball handler whose primary job is to handle the ball really, and not just in terms of what he does, but, you know, something he just does well. Because that's the point of the builds also. You know, like for example, scoring machine is somebody who wants to score. You know, slash and dunker is somebody who slashes the basket. So you know, or a slash, even slashing playboard, somebody slashes the basket, slashing shot creator, somebody who slashes, but he's also a shot. He creates shots for himself and others. So I think that's something that, you know, you can also go inside out. So I think that's a cool thing that's in 2K. And again, back to the builds that I mentioned, I would love to see like a Tony Allen type defender. You know, what I mean by defenders, you know, those Tony Allen types, you know, Kawhi Leonard, you know, Bruce Bowen, you know, those really, you know, really good defenders, Jimmy Butler even, you know, in that regard, you know, just the defense. I love it, the emphasis on defense. And of course they do have, just like the ball handler, but I do believe ball handler build, I do believe there is a lockdown defender build. But for example, I would just like a pure defender. You know, you can even call it pure defender. You know, you can call it perimeter defender. You know, clutch defender even. To be honest, in terms of even just the upgraded builds, you can get more. I would just like to see more creative builds. You know, something that even, you know, it has a little flair to it. Like for example, a scoring machine to me gives off the idea that he's a, you know, KD is a superstar then. So, you know, I would like to see a Kevin Durant like a build that says superstar on it. You know, like you know, most scoring machines are, you know, the star on the team. And don't get me wrong, scoring machines are scoring machines. You know, like your Bradley Beals and, you know, and Jimmy Butler can get buckets, but at the same time, this is why we can play with different builds, because players too now can do many different things. Like Jimmy Butler, primarily he's a good defender also, so I think it'd be good to have like a defense person, and you could even build like say offensive minded person build would really be a really cool idea. A build that says a dunker build would be really cool, like a dunk master or something, you know what I mean? Something like a Vince Carter type player, so I think that would be a really really cool thing, to start in NBA 2K. And of course, where 2K is now, of course, maybe, and even just in terms of switching up the video game, we've seen the same type of builds a few years now, and of course, it's never getting tiring. That's just, to 2K's credit now, it is really, NBA 2K is really a great video game, and I enjoy playing in the city and creating my build also, so I'm going to create a few different builds on 2K myself this year. I'm going to create a slash and shot creator again, but I'm going to create many different builds, by the way, on this year's edition of 2K. But with that being said, I would just like to see more upgraded builds and some other cool items in 2K that kind of gives it a flair. So with that being said, that is pretty much all that I have for you, YouTube. That is pretty much what my video was about today. These were just suggestions and just some ideas that I've been coming up with, like I said in the beginning, while I was playing NBA 2K21 Next Gen, especially this past year, especially on the PS5, it's just something that I've been thinking of since I've been playing NBA 2K that I think would make NBA 2K a really advanced and a really untouchable, unbeatable video game. And again, my hope is that, in the coming future, especially even on NBA, starting with NBA 2K22, hopefully, because it is the next, the second video game now that's come out on next gen console. I think that 2K should really take heed to that and honor the fact that they're putting out the video game now for the new PlayStation 5 that is brand spanking new. So I think it would be a good idea to start doing this thing where they make these major improvements where they really are like this untouchable video game, and still while keeping the simplicity and the cleaner the simplicity and the basketball gaming aspect of it. Now, with that being said, that brings me to my last bit, and it's not about suggestions. This is what is truly what I think is, this part is, I just want to take a couple minutes to talk about what I think is going to be in NBA 2K22. As I said, I have not opened up my NBA 2K22 package yet, but I do think that just going off of the gameplay news, the gameplay trailer, the My Player in the City trailer, the initial trailer which was dropped with Kareem and Dirk and KD when it first dropped, just going off of that, this is what I thought was going to be, or what I think even still should be in NBA 2K22, or would have been a good idea. For one thing, I'm excited to play the video game, and I can't wait to play NBA 2K22 for all of its wonderful game modes and its aspects. I can't wait to play my career especially, and I can't wait to delve into the WNBA also, and I can't wait to delve into also the my NBA experience. So I'm extremely excited to open up my NBA 2K22 package, which is actually sitting right over here on my bed. I wish I had it close to me. I would get up and get it so that I can show you guys my NBA 2K22. But of course, I will be posting pictures on Twitter and Instagram. So do not hesitate to follow me on those platforms. But at any rate, this is what I think NBA 2K22 is going to be about, or what it should have been about. Of course, before we saw the My Player trailer. First of all, just based off the cover with the three champions on there, KD, Kareem, with Kareem and Dirk Nowitzki on the cover at the same time. I think, especially in this real aspect, as I mentioned earlier, I really love that cover, by the way. I think it would be a cool thing if they did this thing where, and based off the trailer also, where they had the guy with the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar jersey on, the Lakers jersey on in the beginning of the trailer, the initial trailer, and he was holding a baby and he had championships all around him. Now that, to me, gave off the impression that 2K is going to do this thing, and to me this would be a phenomenal idea, where they're going to do this thing where they insert your character already into the NBA season mode. For example, they give him even not a girlfriend this time, but maybe they give him a house, and a luxury house already, a house, a wife, and some kids, where they make him this old school married baller even, who may have 1 or 2 championships under their belt, just like Kareem, Dirk and KD. So I think it would be cool. And it might be a Paul who's maybe 5 or 6 years into his NBA career, he's seeking out his second or his third or his fourth NBA championship. So I think it would be a really cool thing to be able to emphasize that. And again, it would be even cool because at this point, then you can even play around with it. I think at some point in NBA 2K also, and this is also something that I would like to see in NBA 2K. And of course, NBA 2K22 is out now. I did see the gameplay trailer. That there is a rookie named MP. My player's character's name this year is named MP, and there's gonna be some thing where he's, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for it. He's gonna be on this NBA journey. He is a rookie, so we know that he's not being important to the NBA season, but he is a rookie that is being. That the NBA journey is still being emphasized, though, where he's going to be able to, become a rap musician. He's going to become a music artist. He's going to become a fashion mogul. He's going to be in the fashion world. And it's cool that they have this character named MP who's, dropping players in the park, and he's this really unique, seems like this really unique basketball personality who's really good on a basketball court at the end of the day. So I really do like that character. But for example, that trailer did kind of give way that the high school and of course the colleges and even the G League route is something that is still in the video game. But with that being said, and of course as it should be, do not get me wrong, I think there are, and of course I have not played the video game yet. I do hope that there are these 4 or 5 different pathways to your NBA journey, which would be cool. Like for example, if you could choose the G League again over college in NBA 2K22. That would be the coolest thing ever. If you could choose to go to college instead of G League, if you could choose to maybe jumpstart to the NBA, which is what I read, if you could choose to go to the NBA, that would be cool also. And which brings me to my point. It would be cool now if like I said, don't get me wrong, that just finish explaining all the different pathways. It would be cool though if at some point they did NBA 2K did cut out the high school route, the college route, and also the G League route, and just even maybe not the G League route, but just high school and college games, and kind of imported a guy into the NBA season. And this time, I mean, not even as a rookie, because as I was explaining, my initial impression was that of NBA 2K22 was that they are going to have this emphasis on on a championship-bound type NBA player, and I think that would be an interesting idea to do at some point also. Because again, even though the rookie journey from rookie and being drafted is an intricate part of the NBA experience, so is, quite frankly, being honest, so is the NBA experience. A lot of the NBA players, not everyone's story or pathway is the same as everyone knows. So I think honoring people's different journeys is a really good thing in the journey aspect of it, but also, just kind of even making a person a journeyman and making him an NBA champion already would be a good idea for NBA 2K. 22. And again, if it were not for the City and My Career trailer, which already gave off, which already revealed that the character's name is MP and he's gonna be this rookie still. I do still like the idea, the openness of having this player who's maybe 4 or 5 years into an NBA career already. I mean, I think it would be cool to start out a My Career season mode, for example, the My Career with the cutscene where you already have it. Let's say an Allen Iverson type player who's playing against the Lakers and in the NBA Finals, and it's 10 seconds on the clock, and your team is down by 2. What do you do? So I think it would be a cool thing. Do you win the championship or do you lose the championship? So I think that would be a good idea to incorporate in NBA 2K at some point. I think it would be a really good idea to already make him an NBA champion and see if he can win 3 championships back to back. Let's see if he can three-peat like the late great Kobe Bryant did. And of course, at the end of it, he won 5 championships, and he did the two-peated. So he did the 2 consecutive ones after that to win 5 total NBA championships. So I think it would be cool to even have an NBA champion already, and even make him an NBA legend or something like that. That's on his way to the NBA Hall of Fame. Maybe he's gonna make a comeback like Jordan. And again, these are ideas now, and again, that's what I thought initially when I saw the NBA 2K22 trailer, and when I saw the cover of it, to me it seems, especially with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the cover, and even Dirk also and KD, just has this emphasis right on these players with the experience and who are quite frankly, technically, heads and shoulders above the rest of the competition in the NBA, and they and to their credit, they are NBA champions, and of course they are of course Kevin Durant and Dirk Nowitzki and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are NBA champions. So with that being said, too, again, it would be it's just a suggestion. It would be a cool idea, again, to just have even a thing where you already insert a player instead of going through the high school game, for example, instead of going through college, where, my career is just about the NBA experience. Like, for example, just jump to the NBA season mode. And even, too, that goes back to my idea of the cinematic features, even, and what, in the creativity of 2K and visual concepts and what they can possibly do in the near future, in terms of even of course, the cinematic features of it, and the drama, and the storylines, and the characters, and really truly, at the end of it all, making these cutscenes and putting and inserting them into the My Career mode itself. Once you start the NBA, it would be cool to be able to have these, a person who is an NBA player, and you have cutscenes that's about that. Perhaps he does live in a luxury apartment, luxury mansion, or house, and he goes home to his wife and his kids, and he gets up for practice every morning and goes to play basketball, NBA professional basketball games, where he is even married to a sideline reporter, or he's a media darling, for example. Even what they tried to make Junior in NBA 2K21 Next Gen. So I just think those are just some ideas. And again, on the flip side of that, don't get me wrong, from all my 2K lovers out there, of course, we love the journeyman aspect of it. We do love the high school games. We love the whole college game. And even for the young generation, in terms of culture now, from a culture perspective, it is a cool thing to have like a rookie player, to not get me wrong, because you do have to create a player, your type of build. But even from that perspective, again, and this is just my personal humble opinion, I do think at some point it would be cool to still even just play with that a little bit, and it's just something that 2K could possibly potentially think about and gravitate toward. And again, I thought that anyway is what I thought they were doing anyway with NBA 2K22, because of course 2K is such a very good and smart video game. So I thought anyway that they were going to cut out the high school and the college games at some point and give me really a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1971, NBA champion, Bucks champion. And in their own right, of course, and the irony of that, of course, is that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, of course, was a huge college basketball star also at UCLA. So, of course, that again, you do have to honor that pathway to the NBA. But again, even, what happens after a person becomes a pro basketball player, the story there does become something even more triumphant. And even in terms of the championship aspect, too, now, I do think it would be good to even put an emphasis on making a champion, and creating this My Player now, where he's not just this rookie who wants to make the NBA, who gets drafted to the NBA and wants to make the NBA, but I think it would be cool if you made it like a straight up NBA player, right, who wants to win a championship, where the goal is not to make the NBA so much, but the goal is once you get there, do you want to win titles? Do you want to win Rookie of the Year? Do you want to win MVP even? So I think it would be cool to even cut out the Rookie of the Year and make a person like MP maybe, maybe that's where they even play on MVP maybe. I just think that's just what I think of NBA 2K, and I just can't help myself because I love NBA 2K and I'm passionate about things that I'm passionate about. For example, so I do think MP, for example, again, I think to play on MVP, maybe he is going to be focused on being this rap musician, this big mogul person, fashion mogul person, this big luxury person, media personality who wants to, be this big dynamic, and even maybe he's quieter, he could be, I'm learning also, I heard anyway on NBA 2K22, by the way, just as a side note, that you can choose a personality, whether you want to be a quiet person or whether you want to be, outspoken or, more expressive basketball player in terms of the My Career, My Player story. So that is basically all that I'm saying. Those are the things that I think should be in NBA 2K22 to make the whole video game not so flat, especially in terms of My Career story, but it should make it more upbeat and just be able to create a more well-rounded, more realistic experience for all gamers involved. So again, I look forward to playing NBA 2K22, and I am actually going to play that as soon as I cut off this video. So YouTube, thanks for listening, and peace.